It's happening right here, right now on the Beanami channel, the most unreasonable game you've ever heard of. It's Beyond All Reason! Welcome back to the most unreasonable game. Welcome back, PlanetSide! Welcome back to the Beanami channel. We're once again back in Beyond All Reason. Let's enjoy ourselves today. It's another good day as we slowly descend upon World War III. I just gotta use this tiny platform that I have in these first few seconds to remind you all, fuck Donald Trump, the pedophile president, and his stupid goddamn war that he's escalating in the Middle East at the behest of the genocidal nation state known as Israel, otherwise known as our air base. Thanks, Joe Biden. Stupid Kamala Harris wasn't willing to fucking run against Israel. I just imagine how big of a landslide she would have won by if she just had a fucking clear message on Israel, dude. That just a clear counter message, but no, she was just a Biden bootlicker. God, what a horrendous state of the world. Anyway, let's make it just as bad for the opposing team today as we loan in against Geeds, this time with Prime on our team. At the front. I'm sick and tired of this nonsense. You decide you can push me around. I think not. Welcome back to short front. I really gotta say, I feel the most comfortable in three positions on this map. I like short front, I like air, and I like tech. These positions I feel fairly comfortable in, especially air a little bit more recently. I was feeling very unsure of myself as I just kind of got decimated a few times in a row, but my recent air game felt really good. Felt really good. Maybe if opponent had all Indus, wouldn't have gone quite so well, but anyway. Let's see what kind of havoc we can cause with two ticks as Mr. Cigarello doing his best to get his grunt out. Let's see what his path is. It's very bad. He's not protecting where he needs to. He's almost. Let's see, does he see the ticks? He does not. And so they're just going to come out of nowhere. Mr. Geeds, making a lot of more energy than I would like him to make, as this will allow him to defend better. I could have also cut in on purple here. This is something I need to think about a little bit more when I get these sorts of opportunities, because dark blue just has the LLT up, ready to rock, ready to roll. He's like, oh, I know how bad the players on my team are. As for some reason his LLT cannot shoot my ticks there. The the wind blocking it. That is so funny. I was expecting nothing from this. Man, these guys could go devastate right now. They just need to go fly out directly this way into purple, and I would just be owning. Oh, this is so sad. Microing a lot at the front as we've got a lot of ticks, some thugs to immediately take out. Obviously, we're just trying to take the best trades that we can with our Centurion. So, unfortunately, ooh, I do get the other mechs. Yo! And unfortunately, our tick dies to it. Anyway, this was very funny. This was very bad placement from Mr. Geeds. Really worth talking about. You got to put this LLT in a position where it can shoot at the ticks. It will not shoot your own units. These wins, as we can see, are plenty tall. You really have to imagine that these windmills are about as big as a windmill in real life, is what I feel like I started to understand watching the lore video recently. The lore celebration. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it if you're a nerd like me. It's a lot of fun, very interesting to get a little bit more flavor for this game, and very cool to see that there is such deep thought coming from the community, coming from the developers, being put into this game. It really starts to feel as if they want, it's like they're striving for a StarCraft 2 like universe. So we're not cowed. Opponent has hundreds of metal more units than us here, but we're not cowed. We are not cowed in fear as we have an LLT. I guess that's kind of the only thing we have backing us up right now. We also have Mr. Squirtle Squad, who is immediately dying, doesn't know about walls, hasn't put up a good tower, hasn't made good units. So, yeah, getting owned. Good BP scaling, though. Nice that he's got a Resbot mixed in. I think it's kind of your dream to go pawn Resbot from this position, right? You can come out, protect from the scout rush, which I think you should always do. I think honestly the way I open on short front just feels so good to me. Skipping the extra mexes for a little bit. Like, how much metal are we behind right now? You know, how much metal are we behind? We're not. We're ahead. We're ahead of Mr. Tinker. And it just comes down to the reclaim, really, in this early stage. So being a little bit behind on your mexes doesn't end up mattering very much, if at all. It's very nice to just not have to worry too much about it. So Dark Blue eventually gets his mexes back online, and somehow it just doesn't matter because we have somebody who doesn't know what on God's green earth they're trying to do or how they should do it in this position. He has committed so much into solars. He's making more constructions instead of eating this bot lab to turn it into units. Say, for example, he ate that bot lab and turned it into 2 more frigates right now. He could easily win this fight. 3 frigates versus this, you just win this all in every day, all day. But instead, he's just not using his resources very well, not converting properly, not eating any extra, although obviously he's just overflowing. But, hey, put down some conversion then. What are we doing? So anyway, looking like our GOC is going to be hopeless for us, as hopefully we can just hold. I put down a lot of LLTs this game. I was very much in the mood for some static defense, if I'm being so honest, as we just start lasering down opponents' units here. I should have just pushed his face in, just gone right, but I was too afraid of losing my 1 Centurion here. Yeah, I think I would have traded my Centurion for. Oh no, there's 3 Centurions there. Okay, no, I feel very happy about retreating then and just healing. I think healing is just too good, especially when we're committing to these big units like this. It's just too good to back up and heal. Unfortunately, our heal bots get sniped, as we are trying our best to heal, but we get our commander over here. I've really started to like putting my commander on a hotkey. It makes my life so much easier, especially on these front battles. The micro just feels so much smoother, so much easier to select between the groups that I need to micro, and I can just very easily just click on my commander with, I use 1, if I'm honest. I put him on 1, and just press R, Shift, and click on the other guys that I want to heal. Now, Mr. Bob Cigarello is taking advantage of the fact that everybody wants a piece of me, and that Pink isn't really seeming. So I gotta say, Pink's position here is pretty bad. I like the way that I've carved out mine. You see what I'm saying? I've carved out a nice wall, which leaves 2 big spaces for me to walk through. Pink, on the other hand, has made a wall that cuts his troops in half, which it's just, I don't know. I feel like it makes it very awkward. Look at this micro, right? The bots don't really know how to walk, and so 5 of these Rocketeers are not shooting. Now, let's see. I I needed some conversion power, so I put down some walls around it. I said to myself, I need the conversion power. My commander has the BP right now, so I'm gonna put it down on the front. Pretty stupid, but it's not dead. It hasn't died yet, so it's something. I have a lot of units. It's worth saying. Maces and Centurions. I feel like I have to go Maces versus the Thugs, but honestly, Rocket Bots are just as good. And I think if I was going the Rocket Bots, I'd be able to apply a lot better pressure to Mr. Bob Cigarello while he's building up this agitator. It really would have been very good, honestly, instead of having these Maces, having Rocket Bots this game. I think that really would have allowed me to keep up the pressure much better, and I think Tinker is demonstrating that, where with his composition of rocket bots and Centurions, even though his is not as well microed as ours, it's not as well healed as ours, I think we definitely have better damage efficiency. Or I guess not. Crazy. But I think here we go. Yeah, that was pretty good for the stats. Nope. Anyway, I feel like our units, my point being, I feel like our units are holding up pretty well for what we've got here, as Pink, is not making any units, getting all of his stuff blasted. I'm glad that I put the jammer down. Does that mean that they haven't seen the tier 1 arty that we're putting down? Very nice. So that's big. Getting this jammer down, very big for the team. Now we've got 2 heavy lasers. So, now this choke point is working very well. Oh, God, dude. Pink is just... I was wondering, why was his commander there? Literally, he's just not thinking and microing his commander forward. Oh, well. What can you do? He suicides on top of all my Centurions, blows our front wide open as we just take the best trade in our lives against Tinker. So very unfortunate to see. Dad, the Greed Gamer, being allowed to power up in his position here as Orange. Wait, what? Orange decimated this guy, and Dad the Greed Gamer is on the sea. I don't know how Orange is allowing this. However, he is helping mid, so that's nice. That's nice. Mr. King of Dragon, if he just commits here, kind of commits outside of the torpedo launcher range and just stays there, he just wins this fight really hard, actually. Just S-click on these unmicroed guys, and you just get all three of these really easily there. He gets two anyway, so he's feeling pretty good after that. If he had a res sub, just coming to slurp, 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 which blue does have, by the way, he would be feeling even better. So he needs to take out, nice, the torpedo launchers, almost. Dark blue putting up 2 feels pretty strong. 1 is not really enough to defend because it's much easier to just commit onto 1. See, like this, basically. So this torpedo launcher is essentially winning this fight. I mean, you see these hits here. Look at the just an extra 6% every 3 seconds or so is decimating our boy. Now, he has managed to take out all the destroyers. Oh, ho, ho, ho. He's managed to take out all the destroyers. Get in there with these subs, baby. They're free. You have freed your subs. Now, Dark Blue has had his tier 2 already for a little bit, so good for him, as we have nothing. Wow. Okay, that guy has it. That guy has it. Dark Red has it. That guy has it, but our poop player, no, he's not allowed to have a tier 2, unfortunately enough for him. Poor guy, quite frankly. And now the so I guess there must have been, okay, so Dark Blue, okay, we missed this. Dark Blue committed his commander over here. It looks like we had Pond player fight back and win. Very nice of him. So I guess this is why there's kind of a big discrepancy right now in this Dark Blue Sea, because committing your commander is really quite a big commitment. I think something that I might try next time I play Beach Sea is committing my commander more with my units as kind of a res sub of sorts. And frankly, it's a much better res sub than a res sub could ever be, because your commander shoots. So if they're not committing to destroyers or subs, and they're committing to, you know, frigates and dolphins or something on enemy by opponents, you just get to shoot those guys for free. Pretty sweet. The problem with dolphins, of course, is that they will take like 3 dolphins and go murder your whole base if they're allowed. So I like what Dark Blue has here. He's got himself up a couple of torpedo launchers. If I was him, I'd be dreaming of maybe 2 more right now with my current mindset. So looking pretty good. Now is he going to, if he's a real gamer, you guys know what he's going to do. If he's a real gamer, he's going to trans his tier 2 over here, get those down, and get that boy right on back. Probably leaving a blueprint first of a little fusion reactor. So Dark Red, what's Dark Red up to? I hate what Dark Red is up to with this. Not gonna lie, Sheldons are one of my least favorite units. They're proving decent today. Would I say decent? Yep, they're bad. One shot, your jammer is down. This is all gonna die if these are not immediately run further away. I'm trying to put up a jammer now because my whole it's the proper micro of these things is so necessitated. So necessitated. It's so unfortunate too, because this powder blue thing is literally the only thing. Oh my god. What? Oh, a scuttle. Thank you, Blue, for telling us what's going on here on our screens. Who committed a scuttle? Is that Tech? Where did that... Oh, it must have been from Dark Red. What a nasty guy. Honestly, Cortex Cortex has a lot of options. Cortex does have a lot of options. I gotta say, I wish he had just made a mammoth and some arbiters or something instead of these Sheldons. Like, let's just take a moment. 3,600 metal, you guys. You might have just scoffed at me for saying, "Oh, he could have built a mammoth and arbiters." No, he could have built a mammoth and arbiters for this, and he had more. He had more, okay? I just hate Sheldons, bro. 400 freaking metal. What useless garbage. 400 metal. 400 metal! It's insane. So we put down our tier 2 of it, Persecutor, obviously right outside the range of the tier 1, and we're just going to snipe that out, because that's kind of the only thing holding them right now alongside this tick spam. Seeing the ticks, I don't know. I really need to get better at just slamming that Juno down when I see the ticks. I felt very good about my eco because I was just up to tier 2. Yeah, Tinker is just barely starting, and he got scuttled, looks like, while he was doing so. And so he's just been absolutely screwed. Poor guy, all the way down at the bottom. I've now made 4,000 more metal than my counterpart on enemy team, who I'd say were roughly equal skill level. 6 Chev, 28 OS. He clearly has quite a few more hours than me, so there it is. And look at that. You get hit once, and the jammer... Ooh, the jammer didn't get touched. Lucky him. As we are now starting to target down the Persecutor. Persecutor, target the artillery. Go on. Go on, Binomi. Aim the artillery. Make it fire. I guess I was pretty afraid of these units advancing because it will mess us up. Some simple units will mess us up. Ooh, no, 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 no. And so this is so bad from Light Blue, right? He has all of this tier 2 mexes up, which is sweet, but then committing into his own lab and tier 2 defenses at the same time, now we're seeing the classic problem. 0 in his metal bar. Purple goes for a little bit of an all-in on me. However, the pond player, thank God, he just has a lab and a bunch of guys ready. C provides a couple of shots, and we end up losing. Zilch! Nice that we had the LLT too, to be honest. I felt very, very afraid in that early game, so I put that up, and it comes back a little bit here. So now we're just Persecutor creeping. I was really feeling some static defense this game, really feeling it, and we're gonna investigate how I think we could have played a lot better with this static defense. So let's just kind of speed up a little bit, because what we're gonna end up seeing here is that having a jammer versus not having a jammer is a big deal. Bob has just not learned what a jammer is, and so he's just bound to die here, unfortunately enough for Bob. And there it is. So we have now put up the 3 Persecutors. So I think this is very reasonable. This will help me hold off any tier 1 boats that might come, which Dark Blue is still very much on. Dark Red even sniped tier 2 lab by the look of things, the first one. So, gosh, if only King of Dragon understood. Just go in. Just go in. Go in with your men. Just go killa, 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 killa. You cannot get these men. You have no... And the problem is no res sub means that it doesn't really matter that Dark Blue has kind of been blown off the water. He just needs to quickly eat it all back up with the res sub. He's at 2,700 metal, and as long as he can produce a little bit, it'll be fine. So the King of Dragon just not seeing the power spikes when he needed to see them. Just an unfortunate loss for him. Poor guy, poor guy. So we've made a lot of construction button, which I felt so proud of this game. Look at this, okay? I said to myself, I need to get some metal. I'm a poor little guy right now, and I need to get me some metal. So what am I going to do? I'm not going to have them all cloud over my tier 2 bot here, even though I probably should have had, this cohort of 5 in the back cloud over him. No, we're going to put up a construction turret, put up another construction turret that'll start sipping this metal that Dark Red isn't sipping, even though he is sipping most of it. And we'll go from there. Now, Dark Red has managed to get good value out of these Sheldons. Don't let me convince you that these are useless garbage units that you should never make. If you enjoy the way the Sheldon functions and you say, I like microing these, this feels good, I know that I need to put a couple sumos in front so that they don't get run over, hey, more power to you, King. You do it. You can have impact, right? This guy's 36 OS. He's doing it, and it's working. It's doing something. So clearly, it's worth considering. Dark Green going super greed on the blue team right now as our tech player has decided, I like making units, and you know what? Respect, sir. Respect. I wish that you were doing this a little bit better. Maybe, maybe getting the conversion power up to a proper level before committing so heavily. And it's also worth noting that if he just had, say, 10 more butlers, he would just continue to outscale Dark Green until probably the next Aphis was completed, and Dark Green is not handling his energy very well either, and he's not going to be able to handle this energy very well when that comes down. Anyway, scaling looking a little awkward there, as we are now pumping up. We're moving forward. We're putting the next construction turret down. Honestly, if we're looking at this objectively, if I had just made, say, 15 Centurions right now, I might have been able to just end the game with Dark Red. So that is something to think about. However, getting all the eco up first is vital. I will have no arguments on that. So let's see. I think the proper micro here would be to just move up my boy. Move up the tier 2 constructor. And are you seeing this, by the way? You need to get better at this. This is something that has drastically increased my OS over time, is getting actual build power on the front. This is something that you see and you go, how do they even have enough metal to get it up? And it's going to be a journey of just getting better over time. What on earth is targeting this? This must be a Juno shot, right? This is so... Oh, God. Please. Please. Please, Lord. On this day, let us murder ticks. Oh, almost. Didn't matter at all. The grunts just outranged them badly. And so now everything is over. So, let's see. Yeah, these guys have to push in immediately. Now, the sumos are getting lasered, and they're afraid. He's so afraid! It's a couple sumos, and he just runs away. Look at this. If he pushed with purple right now, I would not be able to hold, but instead we're just allowed to get up our immobile banisher turret. I like to think of them as banishers. And we just continue to set up. So I like my queue here, but I really needed to keep more queued. And look at this. We're just instantly full on metal. Wow, 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 wow. Could have built my own tier 2 lab immediately. Could have started building like LRPC. I was very afraid of dark blue. I could have also just gone onto the sea now. This would have been an interesting play. However, I choose not to. Purple does his best holding, and alongside his the air player over there, they do a great job. Our air player is not disposed to helping us right now, honestly. If he did, he would probably throw the game, as he is hard scaling. I wish, I mean, what's he doing? I mean, just get some more BP down, bro. Yeah. Let's get some more BP down, bro. Eat some of these. Eat this regular fusion reactor. It's really bad, honestly, keeping the regular fusion reactors around these days. In my opinion, it's just the metal efficiency to an Aphis is just so ridiculously different. Where when you're scaling this BP like this, you just have to eat one of these. You have to eat one of these regular fusions to make this smoother. In my opinion, of course, I can't force anything upon anybody, but that would feel better. Let me tell you. So Dark Red, this is just the Cortex, the power of the Cortex right now, actually. This is what's so interesting. The Cortex are so flexible. You go Cortex Geo because you want to be able to affect every single part of the game at any point of it. Very cool to see. As this duck transition might just ravage the flagship, which is now 50% complete. I mean, if this flagship doesn't get up, it's game over. It's game over. Dark Red just has to micro this properly, and it's game over. So, let's see here. Doesn't micro it properly whatsoever. Runs into an LLT. Lets boats shoot at it. Okay. Fantastic. Flubs. Just flubs it. Maybe, I guess maybe the torpedo launchers were shooting the entire time, but what can you really do? I guess. Poor guy. As Dark Blue now up to tier 2, and I say to myself, I'm afraid. I have a lot of metal on me. What can I do? I can probably go onto the sea. So we do just that. As we start to prepare ourselves to hold against the flagship that we all know is coming. King of Dragon, I wish he wasn't an idiot, but what can you do? He's 13 OS, going GOC. He's not going to know what's going on. Thank God somebody built up the Geo. It's very funny that he builds this one. I wonder if this might actually get some value, this Cerberus, this game. I mean, it's really not worth building, even in this position, because I don't even know it's there, right? So I'm not going to be able to micro properly. Now, Dark Blue thinks that he's rather safe here with his beautiful flagship and his anti-air, and I tell him no, no, stop that immediately, as we go and contest valiantly. However, flagships pretty good. They'll take out some dolphins. It'll take out a dolphin squad like that. If I had 20 more dolphins, I'm gonna say 20 more dolphins, I could have made a real dent in this flagship, but instead I do not. The flagship, what kind of speed has it got? 54 compared to a cruiser chilling at 60. A flagship microed away from a cruiser should always be able to get away. Blue team wishing the best for Dark Blue as he is getting absolutely attacked. So, how do the cruisers do? I mean, really badly, eh? They get slowed down by the shots, and then we're getting the flanking damage, which I feel very proud of, by the way. If we were seeing damage numbers, we would have just seen those double right there. Maybe worth keeping on, as our attack player has finally transitioned tier 3 for this attack. I think he got this sweet Marauder assault going over here, by the way, which we didn't see. He got a sweet Marauder assault, but now going for the lunkhead transition, throwing thousands of metal straight to the bottom. 13,000, ready to be sucked up by Dark Blue. As I go, uh-oh. Hopefully I just start making some res subs, because that is clearly what needs to happen here. Look at this, 20,000 metal floating around in there. That is I mean, it's still going to have a huge impact on the game, 20,000 metal at this point. You see what I'm saying? Pushing them up to the 20 to 700,000 metal, getting an extra 2 APHIS up if he really wanted to push like that instead of push for units. Huge, just huge. He sends out one almost dead naval engineer, and look at this. He's already gotten like almost 2,000 metal. Thank goodness we fight back. We're able to fight back with our little spam boys as we make just a load. I'm ready for a load of res boats. So even though usually when I have repeat on and forget about it like this, as we're seeing here, I'm kind of sad about it. I'm not that sad about it right now, because you know what's going to be able to happen here? We're going to be able to go and heal everything. Our front got pushed through. Worth talking about a little bit now that we've talked about this sea transition. Our front got pushed through from Dark Green's initial Razor attack here that it looks like he pulled back from, or that we kind of held back here, which just sucked. Reality was, I think if I just put up some pulsars, it would have been chill. I think 3-4 pulsars and I would have held fine. I just forgot to micro my tier 2, to be totally honest. I just forgot to micro. Just forgot to put in more commands as I got really busy with the sea stuff. So, very happy with what I've had going on back here this game, by the way. This has been a little secret going on in the back, making loads of wins for you, boy. We've got a total of, look at that, almost 200 wins loaded up in our back line, making us plenty of energy still. A quantity, as Winter StarCraft would tell us, a quality all its own here with good old wins. As even though I think I was building, I didn't really show the embarrassing part, but I think I was building an APHIS up there. As yeah, just transitioning to these long range battle subs when you're multiple on tier 2 C against somebody who's all on their own. It's devastating. It's so impossible to get the comp perfect enough. And then we have one guy going anti-air. It's just like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do as blue here? You're gonna die. You're gonna roll over and you're gonna die, quite frankly. So there it is. I mean, what a beautiful little game. Opponents end up just not being able to have proper impact as Dark Red goes for attack after attack after attack. I mean, I loved it. The scuttle bomb here was huge. Pushing back Tinker, stopping his tier 2, killing that tier 2 bot, getting that tier 2 con is such a life. It's like it's your lifeblood in a game of Beyond All Reason. At a certain point, you need that tier 2 con to be able to get more metal to keep up with what the other nasties are doing to you. And getting that blown up at a timely manner. It's 10 to 15 minutes your tier 2 con is getting blown up on front. You're crying, you're shitting, you're pissing your pants, and Tinker certainly felt that today. So, too bad for that guy. Very nice for us. We held out. We transitioned onto sea like we had to because that flagship was going to be a problem all its own, which I didn't want to have to deal with at all. No thanks, no way. So, just making some dreadnoughts, making some long range attack subs, making some res subs. Feeling great going the old transition onto sea from the front. This is kind of the first time I've ever done this, so I feel pretty proud of this. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. This is quite a base for me. This is never before seen here with all of this sea stuff going on. And I hope you guys, I hope you guys are proud of me. Let me know. Hope you enjoyed. Hope I'll see you again next time when we go planet side, and I hope you'll leave your own replay in the comment section below so that I may commentate it and let you know how you can improve. I'll see you then, you guys. Bye for now.